Welcome to Spotlight. I'm your host, Amitha. Join us weekly as we bring you guests who will inspire us with their success stories and transformational events. Our guest today is a multifaceted Indo-Canadian female artist who is making us proud worldwide. Actress, model, TV anchor, writer, dancer, spoken word artist, and much more. She was crowned Miss India Worldwide Canada in 2008 and has been on a roll ever since. It's my pleasure to welcome to our show Miss Uppekha Jain. Welcome, Uppekha.
Thank you, Amitha, for that lovely introduction.
Well, in fact, I should say welcome back to the Toronto scene.
Yes, it's so good to be back.
It's nice to have you here, and it's exciting to find out about your projects here. But before that, let's tell our viewers a little bit about yourself, about your growing up and your journey thus far into the world of entertainment.
Okay, well, I grew up over here, meaning in Toronto, in the GTA. And like every good Indian girl, I listened to, I got involved in dance and drama and all that. I did that all throughout my life. But, every parent says, get a good education, right? So I did that, and I went to business school at Laurier. And through that journey, I kept up with my dance, and I'm a classically trained Bharatanatyam dancer and Kathak dancer. So kept up with my dance and drama here and there, but business was my focus. And so I went into marketing and I did the corporate life for a little while. And then I said, you know what, this is not for me. I actually want to follow my passion and what drives me. And I can't, it just, to each their own, but really the corporate life wasn't for me. And I wanted to go explore what else was out there. So it was at that time, it was either going to be Toronto or LA or Bombay, right? Like that's
the big hubs.
The big hubs. Now, Toronto wasn't at that time, so we're talking like 2009, 2010. This was, I think, pre-Slumdog. So it wasn't really very open to the visible minorities. You didn't see a lot of them on TV. So I said, where else can I go where I can combine my passion for dancing and acting? And of course, growing up as an Indian kid, I watched Bollywood movies all the time. So I said, let me go to Bombay. Didn't know anybody there at all.
Wow.
And which was
That's
crazy.
a major move, and you don't have contacts.
Didn't have any contacts.
Oh, wow.
At all. And so all my family in India is from North India, from Delhi, Jammu, and stuff like that. So knew no one in Bombay, but just landed up there and then started. And it took some time to figure out how Bombay works. It's a completely different sort of atmosphere over there. I think growing up over here, you maybe relate to being an Indian, like over here people ask you, what are you? You're Indian. So I thought, okay, I go to India, I'm Indian. No way, I'm completely Canadian.
Wow.
And so understanding those cultural shifts and the paradigm that was there, that was interesting.
That is, I wouldn't do it. I would get scared when I don't have any contacts, and you're going there to kind of establish yourself.
Yeah.
And especially in a very competitive industry
Very.
So hats off to you for doing that. I'm just going to take a step back.
Sure.
So coming back to family,
Yeah.
did they support you through this? Because sometimes you find in South Asian families, females want to pursue the arts,
Sure.
and it's sometimes considered, not something that females do.
Yeah.
So how was your family about, you had a corporate world, job that, is a high standard, high paid
standard,
Yeah.
all of that, yeah.
So-
I was very fortunate, Amitha, that I had parents that did support me, and I
Nice,
don't think I absolutely know that there was no way that I could have done what I did without the support of my family. In fact, my mom moved with me to Bombay for for 9 months or a year. She came, and because she was like, that's the big bad world of Bollywood and Bombay. I don't want to leave you there alone. So that's how much support I got, and I really couldn't have done it without them. So I'm very blessed.
Wow. So let's fast forward to now.
Sure.
You're in Bombay or Mumbai,
Yeah,
as
Mumbai.
they call it now,
Mumbai.
and you landed up on many prestigious projects. So enlighten us on those.
Sure. My first commercial was for Maruti Suzuki, and then my second one was with Shah Rukh Khan.
Wow.
And that was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then that started a slew of other commercials, which was great. So ads on TV. Simultaneously, I would do theater theater is really big, and I think anyone who wants to be an actor, they really should dabble into theater. So I was really lucky to work on Eve Ensler's Emotional Creatures as a permanent cast. So she's the one who did Vagina Monologues.
Oh, wow.
And so I would sort of sub in as well for Vagina Monologues sometimes, and a few other Hindi language plays and English plays around. And then eventually, after some films and all of that, I landed a role on Star Plus's #1 TV show, which was Sat Nibhana Sathiya, and I played their conniving sort of NRI Bahu, which was a lot of fun to play. Like, it's your typical Saas Bahu serial, but my character was a lot of fun because she was the one who was going around and trying to poison people or trying to create havoc or trying to do all of this. Like, it was just such a fun character to play.
Well, challenging one. Usually the negative roles, you know, are challenging.
Exactly. We're all good people, I think, at heart, so it's easy to play good, right?
Good.
But to switch and to be able to play negative convincingly is a lot of fun. And I even had some aunties while we were walking on Bandstand in Bombay or Mumbai. They came up to me and my co-host, and they were just like, and started going off in Hindi, talking to us like, "You're so bad. How can you do that to Gopi?" And they take it so seriously.
Well, the serials are big in India, so you have become a household name there, so it's recognizable. And I must say that playing a negative role, being challenging, and being appreciated by the audience there, taken for real, you know, the character versus the real you, tells us how great of an actress you are.
Oh, thank you so much.
And again, once again, hats off to you. You made a move without any contacts, and you landed up in many prestigious projects. I have to ask, like, there's so many people who are there. Some of them have even agents, and I mean, you made it big there. That's
you know, I think it's hard. It's determination, it's belief in yourself, and it's hard work. Like, it didn't happen overnight. I was in Bombay for 7 years. So, you know, it was a process. And I think it's this industry, the entertainment industry, is an industry that really tests you, and it really sort of strips you down in terms of your confidence. You have low days, and that's why a lot of big actors and actresses have come out about mental health issues and things like that, because you're constantly scrutinized, and then you never know where your next gig is going to be. So it's a very hard life. People just see the stuff in front of camera and think that it's such a glamorous life. It's not always, right? I would say the majority of the time it's not. And so you really have to build your inner strength in order to push through your belief in yourself. And of course, there's always the divine luck that helps. But I think you create it through your thoughts as well, and through your belief in yourself.
very well said. That was quite inspiring. And now you're coming here to capture the scene here.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. But before that, it's time for a short break. Welcome back to Spotlight. We are talking to the multifaceted, amazing Indo-Canadian artist, Miss Uppekha Jain. So it's quite inspirational, your journey has been, you know, from here to Mumbai, and now you're back in Toronto.
I am.
And we are so lucky we'll get to see some of your awesome work. So first off, let's talk about the upcoming release of a TV film.
Yes, yeah. So, well, I decided to move back to Toronto because of family again, right? They supported me over there.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what, it's time now. And I think it's a ripe time for visible minorities as well over here. They're everywhere. You know, I come back after 7, 8 years, and that's what I see on TV. So it's great. I was very lucky. I got back in June. In July, I started filming No Sleep Till Christmas. So it's got a cast from House MD and from a bunch of other shows. Or the cast has been brought together from US and from Canada.
Okay.
So it'll release on Christmas Day. And
Nice.
so I'm excited about. So that was a really, really great first step, I think, back here in Toronto.
Great. So that's great. You came here in June and you landed this in July as well.
Yeah.
And so, which is amazing. And it's so humble of you to, recognize there's also a divine power. So humble of you to appreciate the support that you're getting from family. And
Absolutely.
I think that also speaks a lot about you. Like you're throwing out that positivity and you're getting back positivity.
I think, you said it completely correct. What you put out is what you get, right?
Yes.
And what you believe is what creates your environment. So, yeah.
Awesome. So coming back to the film, so is this like a Hollywood production?
Yes. Yeah,
okay, great.
It is. It is a Hollywood production. And I play Odette's bridesmaid in it. So it's like a really cute sort of slice of life, fun comedy film around Christmas time. So definitely tune in and watch it. No sleep till Christmas. It was a lot of fun working on it. Coming from Bombay and the way they work on projects over there.
I was just going to ask, yeah. So did you find a difference?
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. And it was really nice to also be working in your first language. I mean, Hindi's not my first language, but of course on the soap opera, that's what I'd have to speak.
I'll just stop you there. So then did you need coaching or self-taught?
You know what? Initially, when I moved to India, I did hire a diction coach because everyone, whenever I'd go, they'd be like, "Are kahan se ho?" Like, where are you from? And I'd be like, "Okay, I'm from Canada." But after, like, over time, I just kept going at it, kept speaking to people in Hindi, though they'd want to talk to me in English. I just keep trying to do that. And then there was no better place to learn than on set itself because my entire cast and crew were practically Hindi speaking as a first language. So that's where I
learned on set.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
where I learned.
So now coming back to No Sleep Till Christmas.
And yeah, so it was so great to also be emoting and acting in my first language, which is English. Right?
Awesome.
So that was good.
And so we look forward to that.
Yeah, excellent.
And sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and then I was really lucky to be a part of a short film. Like, it's a cute little film about, it's called Rishta. And it's about a 30-something-year-old girl who hasn't really had a lot of luck in the romance department and then finally sort of decides to listen to her parents in an arranged, like, meaning they wanted her to get an arranged marriage. So she's finally, like, grappling with whether I should actually do an arranged marriage or not. And then her sister says it's pretty much like Tinder, if you think about it.
Yeah, true.
Right?
True,
and so it's just about her struggle and her sort of realization about trying this cultural tradition that is so old in today's time. So that was a lot of fun to work on too.
Awesome. Where can we watch the short film?
You know what? I just wrapped shooting last week.
Okay.
So I don't know.
So we got the inside scoop.
You do. Yeah. But as soon it should be out. I think it'll do the rounds of festivals first. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah. On TV, rounds of festivals, everywhere. I love it, Uppekha.
No, I'm just so thankful, so grateful that that's what's been happening. Yeah.
Awesome. So we have heard in the beginning the dancer side of you. We didn't elaborate on that. We have heard about the actress side of you. I touched upon a bit about the pageant side, the model side. And now I want to come to something that's so close to your heart, about you being a spoken word artist. And I've seen Uppekha's material that's been out there, and it is amazing. It's very thought-provoking, and you talk about what's really out there. A lot of times people shy away from that, and it's a hush-hush culture.
Yeah, absolutely.
So before we let our viewers know about your material out there, first of all, tell me what inspires you to be a spoken word artist, and where does your content come from?
Well, what inspires me is the idea that anyone who is in the arts or who has some sort of platform, I think it's almost a responsibility to also speak about things that are relevant and important and not just about makeup and glitz and glam and all of that. Because if you've got a platform, be a bit of an activist. Have that courage to be a bit of an activist, because there's a lot of young people who look up to you. And, we live in a world that is so it's so swipeable, and everyone's just focused on the exterior all the time, right? And it's hard to actually have a conversation where you want to go deeper and talk about the issues that are going on. But I think it's really important to do. And my first spoken word piece was the rap against rape. And that was inspired actually by true incidents that happened within the film industry, in the film fraternity that I was a part of. It happened to an acquaintance I knew. So I was so angered by it at that time that I sat down and wrote this piece. And then I said, you know what, this is a bigger issue. This patriarchal society and this contradictions that happen within this society all the time. This was also close to India's Daughter being banned, that documentary, and a little bit after the big Nirbhaya incident on the bus. So there was just so much going on, and I said, enough. Like, people need to start speaking out about this. And that's what, one night, I just sat down and I wrote it, and I took it to a friend of mine, and I said, here it is. Do you want to perform this with me? And she said, yes, this is so of the need of the hour, and it's so relevant right now. So we did. Had no idea it would have gone like that, but I'm so glad it did, because what I think happened is there was so much worldwide focus on, because of this spoken word piece. Everyone from CNN to BBC to Huffington Post to Wall Street Journal, like everyone from Australia to America, were talking about this piece at that time. So there was a lot of focus and a lot of people being like, oh, is India safe? Is India not safe? Or what's going on? What are they doing about this rape culture? And eventually, all of this dialogue that started happening, eventually that led to a reform of laws, and that led to, you know, better dialogue being talked about within society. And it's now progressing, you know, and it's a better place. So that's a quintessential example for me about how art can actually make a difference, and how artists should use their art to also affect positive change. And it's very important to do so.
Very well said. Yeah, we do need more artists like you in that sense, who are socially responsible.
There you go, socially responsible.
And that's when we can make a difference.
Exactly.
I mean, you have the power in your hands, and a form that a lot of people follow.
Yeah.
And so use it, and congratulations, you're doing that.
Thank you.
And yes, the Rap Against Rape, you can watch it on YouTube channel. And you have a new content as well that just came out. Tell us about that.
So that piece is about beauty. And it is about how we adhere to certain standards of beauty on Instagram, and guilty of it too. Like, I'm on Instagram all the time. And what you see are these like plastic sort of ideals of beauty. Big lips, you know, big hips, lashes, all of that. And I wear it, I do it. And
me too.
I'm not saying, and I'm not saying that that's wrong. But what I am saying is, figure out why you're doing it, and also don't just focus on exterior beauty. Focus on your interior beauty, because all of this is going to fade one day. And if you don't focus on building up that inner beauty, being a good person, having compassion, having kindness, being confident in yourself about who you are and what you stand for, you're going to crumble. And I've noticed that within this industry as well. So I really hope your viewers go out and check it out. It's Uppekha Jain's piece on beauty. You can see it on my Facebook, I think, as well. And I've been getting a really good response from it. A lot of people have resonated with the message in that. So.
Well, I did resonate with it. And it's inspiring to know that role models like yourself do advocate for it. In, you know, sometimes there's a lot of false advertising out there.
Yeah, there is.
So we have more to find out about you as a person.
Okay, great.
But before that, it's time for a short break. Welcome back to Spotlight. We are getting inspired by the Indo-Canadian artist, Miss Uppekha Jain. So this is great. All your projects are really relatable and inspiring, as we just heard about. So like we said, check out Uppekha's spoken word pieces on YouTube. And I've already checked them out, and they've really enlightened me as well.
Thank you so much, Amitha.
So Uppekha, now if I ask you to look into your future, what do you see yourself doing? Like, what is your long-term goal as an artist?
As an artist, it would be to continue to be an activist as well, to continue to use art to make a difference, alongside just living your best life and living the life that makes you happiest. So today, that is acting. Tomorrow it could be something else. I don't know. Maybe it's getting back to my business roots, you know. I want to come out with, or I'm working on a skincare line right now with some partners in India. So perhaps that is what I will do in the future, or I'm not sure. Not that I'm not sure, but it's just, I think you have to evolve with each day.
Nice.
Figure it out as you go along.
Love it. So you don't, limit yourself to a box or with expectations of yourself too.
Exactly.
So that's explore life and, make yourself better, make the world a better place.
That's perfectly put.
Great. Now let's find out a little bit about what you do in your spare time. I mean, there's so much on your plate. I don't know whether you do have spare time.
Everyone's got time to spare, right?
Okay, cool. So what do you do in your spare time?
I am also a pranic healer, which is an energy healer. So meditation, spirituality, and pranic healing is something that I do love to do and keeps me sort of grounded and sane in this crazy world that we live in sometimes, right? So it's that. And then other than that, I'm just like a regular girl. I love spending time with my friends, my family, and going out and really, and that's a big thing for me, actually. Since I've moved back, it's about reconnecting with my family, my friends who I've been away from for 7-8 years. So that is what I love to do in my spare time. Read a really good book, have a good glass of wine, things like that.
Love it. As we are hearing, Uppekha, you're like any other person, but you've accomplished so much because you have a good soul. You have, you have skills, talents. You worked hard for it, and that's why you have this positive aura around you that is exuding, inspiration all around.
Thank you so much.
So you have definitely talked to us today and inspired us a lot. But at this point, I'm going to actually ask you to maybe focus on some of our viewers who aspire to be artists like you someday.
Okay,
if you have a tip or two to them, they sometimes get demotivated or they don't know which path to go. So any words or tip or two?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I go through the same thing. I've only done this much, and in this world, people are doing things all the time, right? So sometimes you wonder, which way do I go? What should I do? And it's all a learning process. So I can only share with your viewers whatever I've been able to live. And I would say I talked about making sure that you're confident in yourself and not letting anyone take that away from you. But that will only come, it won't come by putting on more makeup or having the best hairstyle or the best clothes and the best shoes. It will really come when you work on yourself and you spend time just by yourself, alone, and just work on skill sets that you want to develop. So whether that's dancing, whether that's writing, whether that's acting, whether that's, rapping, like who knows, whatever it is that you're singing. You're a beautiful singer, right? So as well, like it's about working on the things that you're passionate. So do that. Build your self-confidence. Number 2, I would say that definitely have multiple streams of income. Now, people don't always talk about finance within the industry or as you're an artist, but that's one of the biggest challenges. You're an artist, so you love to just do your art. But what happens is you can get lost in just your art, and then how do you make a living? Right? So to marry the two of those things, always have multiple streams. Don't give up your job yet, unless you have a big saving like I did, which is what allowed me to go to India.
You planned well.
You plan. Yeah. Exactly. That's what you have to do. You have to plan well. So focus on your finances, have multiple streams of income, and then have mentors. I think that really you can talk to and that can guide you. And realize that mentors can come in all shapes and forms. I just happened to help a friend out, pick up her friend from the airport or something because she couldn't make it. He ended up being an actor, and we ended up chatting for like 2 hours, and I got so much inspiration and direction from that. So be open to whatever this universe brings you, and always stay happy and positive and do what you love.
Wow. Wow, Uppekha. Next, we need a book from you on all this, life knowledge. Well, thank you so much for coming and talking to us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
We look forward to your TV film and all the projects.
Thank you so much, Amitha. It's been great.
All the best.
Thank you.
So that was Miss Uppekha Jain, who has inspired us to pursue our dreams and keep positivity. Well, that's a wrap for this week's show. Thank you for watching us. Continue to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and write to us at spotlight@ethnicchannels.com. Until next week, this is Amitha signing off, encouraging you to be creative towards your own spotlight.